balance, motherfucker. Guys. Oh my god. Leg day. I am exhausted. I am fucked. I'm going to overdub a video of me training legs. And I'm no superhero. Everyone knows leg day is brutal. I'm no superhero just for doing a brutal leg day, right? But the point of this video is to show the way I'd like you all to train legs for the best results for any goal, mainly for strongman strength, but health, fitness, muscle building, which all coincides together. You guys have to train like this. You just have to train like this. The other point I wanted to make is your leg day session needs to have intent. You need to go into that session fired up, slightly nervous and afraid. An extra slice of toast, just slightly carb up. You don't have to go nuts. A little bit of extra carbs before this session, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before, or whatever. A little bit more afterward, because it is going to wreck you. And we are training our legs, so there's going to be a localized effect of muscle growth and inflammation in the legs, but we are training the whole system. Your leg day is going to help you win the 5th event at a strongman competition. Your leg day is going to help you get an extra rep on an overhead event. Your leg day is going to help you recover and do well on the second day of a 2-day comp. Your leg day is going to help you digest carbs better, process carbs better, digest and process protein better. Your leg day is the fucking day. This is when it all happens. If you like training legs and enjoy it and leave there feeling good, watch this video and try again. All right, everyone, I've included me literally sitting in for the first warm-up. Like, this is it. This is me just learning the machine, seeing if I like where the pad is sitting, learning where the hardest parts of the movement are on this particular machine, because they are all different. I did start on ham curls. So I did one exercise before this. I've already done lying hamstring curls. It was a bit awkward to film it, so I just didn't bother, but I filmed the rest of the session. So this is me doing a warm-up, connecting to my quads and seeing how they're feeling, focusing on nice slow movement because I'm trying to fatigue my quads. The goal here is to fatigue my quads till they cannot do a single good rep, so full muscular failure. I want to do it safely. I want to do it perfectly. And I found the best way to do it is actually by going slow, taking out all momentum. Sometimes with momentum, it allows you to lift more. So you're not actually hitting failure, you're just kind of lacking momentum. So I decided to go up a little bit in weight, I think, because the way down on this machine, the eccentric, I'll be talking about concentric and eccentric. So that's the concentric phase, the lifting phase, the squeezing phase, or the positive, might be easy to call it the positive. And then the negative, this machine actually feels a bit easier on the negative. And our muscles are actually stronger on the negative. On the eccentric phase, we are stronger. So if something's easier on the way down, it almost feels like a rest sometimes. So I actually enjoy, this is the opposite, of course, to what most people do. I'll actually go slow on the way up and think of my muscle fibers triggering fiber by fiber, and then just lower under control so I can begin the next rep. I don't do this on all machines, but all machines are different. So what am I doing here? I'm breathing, trying to get relaxed breathing. You can see the stomach. This is already taxing on the cardio system. Squeezing, sometimes near the top there on a leg extension, I need to speed up a little bit to get to the top of that contraction. It's really hard when you're going slow and the hardest part is at the top and you've got no momentum to get there. That's why people use momentum to get to the top of the lift. So sometimes I speed up through the lift. But the idea is the start here, this start, see how slow that is, slow, and the body just wants to speed up, but I'm staying in control. It's really hard to do on your own, but if you go in with focus and determination, you can do it. Slowly reverse the movement. I'm starting to panic. Literally, I'd call it panic mode. This is fight or flight. This is what we are aiming for muscle growth and to get the most out of your body. We are trying to get to this fight or flight. And I'm choosing fight. I'm choosing to stay. I'm choosing to grind through this and push my body to become better. And my body, it sends biological responses through chemicals in my body to get stronger muscles, thicker muscles, stronger organs, and just be a bigger, stronger human. And that's what I'm after. So you can't see my right hand there, but I'm actually grabbing the lever and assisting myself at the top of the movement. The burn was real, and I kind of felt like I gave up due to pain. I gave up because this set's going a little bit too long. I went a little bit too light. So I actually went heavier and just tried to just do whatever I could. So weight choice today was a little bit off. You know, I don't quite know these machines too well, but pretty much the whole day I went a little bit too light. And that's okay. Still got the effect I wanted, but sometimes I did feel that I was giving up mentally because the pain was so real. But I'm pretty confident I got the job done, that's for sure. Okay, next went on to, this would have been my third movement, leg press. This is the most brutal movement to do in this style of lifting. Let me tell you, this is taxing. Or maybe a squat as well. But we are using so much musculature that needs to constantly be oxygenated. So you've got the breathing just gets intense doing a leg press or a squat like this. And also the pain, the lactic acid buildup. And again, on this one, I felt like maybe I was giving up due to pain. I was happy with how I pushed, but I know I can do better. But I think I just have to go a bit heavier. This was a bit too light. So the start of the movement, as slow as I can. And what I learned on this machine halfway through the set, you can see I'm not locking out, but I actually learned about halfway through the set, if I stopped even earlier, it kept tension on everything. So kind of from there to here, it's actually more of a rest. Those muscles are resting. And we don't want rest because I need to get to the deepest, strongest muscle fibers, the fast twitch muscle fibers. Every time I rest for a lockout or anywhere, the slow twitch, see how I went straight down? Down. I'll get back to what I was saying. Deep, slowly reverse, trying not to speed up. And it's just panic mode. I'm shaking. And then force yourself to go down. Not going down too slow because on this machine, the way down felt like a rest as well. And then I tried to adjust to get a little bit deeper. Felt like maybe I could get deeper. What was I saying? Every time you rest by locking out the knees or resting at the bottom, all you're doing is giving the muscle fibers that have already been used, the slower twitch, fast recovering muscle fibers, you're just giving them a chance to recover. The goal of this exercise is to get to the fast twitch muscle fibers. You can't get there through resting. You have to continue meaningful tension, meaningful load on the muscles. There's me locking out. That's pussing out. I don't like that. If I was coaching you, you wouldn't get yelled at, but it's not wrong. We still get there eventually. It's just, it's mind over matter. There I am locking out a little bit. My body wants a rest. This is fight or flight, and that is my body choosing the flight response, guys. It happens. Your body, your mind wants to give out. It takes everything to force yourself. And this is what instills growth. This is what instills strength in your muscles, in your mind, in your heart. I'd prefer it if I didn't react like this after a set, but I did. First session back for a little while. I'm going to go easy on myself, but I'd prefer to take the emotions out. I went for a couple of extra reps, but they just felt a little bit useless, and I was confident that I'd hit failure. But again, a little bit too light, really hard on my own. This is where a spotter and a coach comes in handy. But I believe I got there. I think I can make improvements next time. So I've hit one for hammies, one for quads, and then another for quads and glutes, being the leg press. And then we went on to a glute isolation, single leg, what would you call this? Single leg, it's not a Bulgarian split squat, but a glute variation of the Bulgarian split squat. So if I put in someone's program, Bulgarian split squat glute variation, what I mean is this. So I'm hinging the bum, the glute stays high. I'm stretching that glute muscle on the way down and then slowly contracting through my heel. You can see my calf going nuts, not all the way up to lockout because that feels like a rest. Down fast because if I go down slow, that feels like a rest, and up slow. Make the glute, no momentum, not bouncing out of the bottom there. Slowly contract. And when you do it this way, guys, you can feel every muscle. You can connect to your muscle. If you're struggling to connect or you can't feel a muscle working, try going this slow. If you don't feel it, then keep trying. I'm not going to say you're doing it wrong. Excuse me. So this started to get painful. The breathing was adding up. I didn't feel this in my back, which is great. You might feel this in your back if you've already done, say, deadlifts or squats or a compound barbell movement. You might feel this in your back due to that being worked, but I've only done machines up to this point. So now what you'll see me start doing is now it's getting really hard on the way up to stay at that pace. So now I'll start going down slow. Now I'll milk the negative. I'll milk the eccentric on the way down where we're stronger because I'm nearing failure. And there's failure. I'll film me on the other leg, although it's the same thing, but you may learn something. So when we're trying to hit the glutes, the hips stay high or the bum stays high. For a split squat, when I'm trying to hit the quads, I'll be moving at the knee. So see, my knee joint stays the same the whole time. And you'll notice my upper body comes upright. That changes how hard it feels at the top. So I move my body up, not all the way up to lock out. There's nothing to lock out because I want tension on the glutes because I'm trying to fatigue the glutes. I don't want to rest at the bottom. I don't want to rest at the top and give the body more time to recover. If this was a competition for who can get the most reps in 5 minutes, then resting would be a great tactic because it allows the muscles time to recover and you can get more reps. But the goal here is to be a stronger human. The goal here is to trigger the mTOR pathways and be a better, stronger human, basically. This improves everything, not just muscles. This improves your cardiorespiratory system, your immune system, brain health, bone health, ligaments. The list goes on and on and on. You guys have to train like this. Like I said, there is no reason to train faster. There's no reason to train multiple sets. If you do one set properly, you get out. Recovery is so important. Why would we do more and eat into recovery time, damaging the muscle further and further and the joints surrounding the muscle? Anyway, so that was that one. Felt pretty good and exhausted, and felt that in the quads a little bit as well because they're stabilizing the whole time. There's me, dead. All right, onto calves. I've got massive calves, so I normally don't hit these, but I like the idea of hitting them every now and again, and there was a machine there for it. Again, too light. I just chucked a 20 plate on each side, but too light. And again, like the leg press, what I learnt on this exercise, on this movement, was instead of, you can see me go down, watch me go down the whole way here and really stretch. That's almost like a rest. On this machine, that felt like a rest movement. I could feel the stretch, which was cool. Oh, I didn't realize I got a wave. That's nice. Sometimes a stretch position going all the way down is good, but if it feels like a rest, it just means that I'm not getting to those deeper muscle fibers that we need to get to. The fast twitch muscle fibers are recruited last. They are recruited when needed once the other ones are fatigued. So when you lift a really heavy weight that can only lift for one, then you're lifting fast twitch muscle fibers. But we can't just go in and do a 1 RM calf raise and expect to get anything from it. There needs to be meaningful time under meaningful load. So what I started doing eventually is not going down the whole way, going down halfway or 70% and pausing there. Speeding up through the movement to get the contraction. The top part of this lift was hard. Eventually you'll see me kind of stop. That looks like a full stretch as well. My nose is running. I do apologize. Nice and controlled movements. I don't need to go fast. You can see me speed up a little bit there. Going fast the whole way just allows you to go heavier, but the weight doesn't matter. Your muscle fibers don't know what weight you're using. There I am pausing a bit earlier. They just know effort. Here you go. See, a bit faster down, pause around there, pause, and it felt a bit harder there. It was harder for me to hold there than going all the way down and relaxing. So that's something that you just need to keep in mind when you're on a machine or choosing an exercise. If you're training at the same gym, doing similar exercises every week, then you'll figure it out in a month. You'll have every exercise down pat, and I can help you out with it. But when you're trying new things out or at a different gym, you just got to keep in mind where's the hardest positions, where's the rest points, and make sure you avoid those rest points. Anyway, probably didn't hit failure on those, but it's my calves. Look at them. They're huge. During the week when I did upper body, I didn't do any rear delt exercises. So I decided while being at a gym with cables, I would do some rear delts. I went a little bit light. I think I had 5 kilos on this side or 7.5. And then when I moved to the other side, I put it up a little bit in weight. So I choose not to use any type of attachment with this. I've got a nice loose grip, and you can see me moving my body as well. So I'm trying to stretch that rear delt here. Slow start, and then squeeze. And you can kind of pull with the elbow because the rear delt moves your upper arm. So if you imagine pulling back with your elbow, like you're elbowing someone behind you. And I like to move my body with it. When I move this way and face this way, I feel a big stretch, nice slow start, and then the contraction feels better at that point. So that's the reason for the movement. I've got my left arm braced against the machine for balance. You don't want something to be unstable. There's no benefit to being unstable when you do an exercise. I want to hit that rear delt, so I want to be as stable as possible so that that muscle can be as strong as possible and apply force, which is what strength is. But the advantage, one thing you can do, and I think I do it, is I'll let go and assist myself because I don't have a spotter or a coach. I'll start feeding myself some reps to push past failure, which is what a PT and a coach is there for with this type of stuff, to push you past failure. Make sure you get to not only concentric failure, but even eccentric or isometric failure, because our muscles work in different ways. Anyway, this is just something that I added on to my leg day. Even though I didn't target the rear delts during the week, I still did a pull down movement and I still did a rowing movement. So these muscles were hit, but it popped in my head, I'm at a gym, I had the time and energy. So sometimes it's just okay to do it. I probably could have done maybe a tricep exercise if I wanted. Went up in weight on the left side here and it felt a lot better. So this is something, if I trained regularly at this gym, I would just write that down in my phone, that weight felt better. And to tell you the truth, next week I'd probably even go heavier than this because this set went for a while. We want the set to go for at least 60 seconds, I'd say, 60 seconds of constant tension. But then aiming up to 90 seconds is great. A lot of my sets today, guys, they went for 2.5 minutes. That's just a bit too long. Still going to get the desired effect, but like I said, sometimes I feel like when the weight's too light, we're giving up, or I'm giving up due to, I'm not going to call it mental weakness or anything, but the mental part kicks in. It's just so painful. You're so out of breath for so long that it's hard to keep pushing through. So if something's a little bit heavier and it goes for 60 to 90 seconds, it's more likely that you're going to hit failure of the muscle, not failure of the mind. So pros and cons to heavy and light. Sometimes lighter allows you to really focus on the movement and feeling the movement. If you go heavy, sometimes it's hard to go slow and controlled and other muscles will jump in. Excuse me. There's me assisting myself for some forced reps. Just 1 or 2 forced reps is enough. And then, guys, okay, that was that one done. Back to legs now that they've had a rest. This is called a wall sit. This is called a timed static contraction. So 90 seconds. Now, for the first 30 seconds, I'm pushing into the wall and pushing up with a 5 out of 10 effort. Okay? So I'm not just chilling there. It's 5 out of 10 effort. I know I've got another minute to go once this 30 seconds is completed. So I'm not giving it everything, but I'm aware of my legs in this position. Let me tell you, I'm feeling it. I'm looking at the phone because I'm using it as a clock. I can see the clock just briefly. So hopefully I'll get a signal from myself that the next 30 seconds is about to kick in. Let me see what I do. Focusing on the breathing. It's already it looks like it's already painful. Now, at the 30-second mark, what do I do here? At the 30-second mark, you're going to push in. Here we go. 9 out of 10 hard. Almost everything you've got. I went to put my hand on my legs, but I thought, no, I want to tough this one out. This is me pushing up and back in after a leg day. This was brutal. 9 out of 10 hard for 30 seconds. And then, guys, that's not the end. The last 30 seconds, it's me signaling that my breathing is just wrecked. The last 30 seconds, 10 out of 10 hard. I think I've already started it. Yeah. So, sorry. I thought I'd try and make it, then I went dizzy and I actually couldn't see the time on the phone, so I had to wink the eye. My God, and I'm laughing, and I was about 5 seconds short. That is called a timed static contraction. I'll make another video on it to share with you guys because I really want you doing that one. Brutal on the muscles, brutal on the cardio system, brutal on your whole body. That's the signal we're sending. I want to be bigger, stronger, faster. I want to be more alive as a human. That's the signals that we're sending to the body, and the body will respond. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys.